welcome, Aiboan. So this lesson is also going to focus about prepositions, but it's going to focus prepositions along with issues, purposes, and reasons. All right. So this is important for you when it comes for letter writing if you are doing general, okay? Again, also useful for your task 2 in your writing and obviously useful for you in your speaking test. All right. So let us have a look at about and on, okay? About and on are used to refer with topics or issues, right? About refers to informal situations, on refer to formal situations. Let's have a look at an example. Nina and her sister were chatting about our childhood just now. Professor Vikramanayaka's talk was on improving the economical status of the country. Okay? So and and on are both used to refer when we are talking about topics, a certain topic or an issue, right? But the difference is about refers to informal situations, whereas on refers to a formal context. So let's have a look at the first one. Nina and her sister were chatting about. So Nina and her sister, is it a formal context? No, but it is an informal context. So Nina and her sister were chatting about, it is a certain topic and they were chatting about it, okay? Whereas Professor Vikramanayaka is a more formal context and he was talking about what? About improving economical status. But as I told you about, could you use it actually? No. What should you be using? Professor Vikramanayaka's talk was on improving, right? Now, unknowingly when we speak, we would speak out and say, oh, Professor Vikramanayaka was talking about this and this, right? But try to avoid that now. Use the proper preposition. All right. Off. Now, we had off before, but that was for different reasons. Now, this is for a different context, right? Of is used to refer to the content that is expressed by two nouns. The first noun being an aspect of the topic indicated by the second noun. Okay, let's have a look at what it really means. The lecturers discussed the good performance of some learners at their monthly meeting. She highlighted the value of reading. Now, what is this? Of is used to refer to the content that is expressed by two nouns. Okay? The first one is the aspect of the topic and which obviously is indicated by the second noun. Okay? So when you say the lecturers discussed the good performance of some learners at their monthly meeting, okay? So it talks about two nouns, right? And the first aspect of the topic being indicated by the second one. So the lecturers discussed the good performance of who? The learners in the monthly meeting. So the first one being indicated by the second noun. Okay. All right. So let's have a look at the next one. Because of and for are used to refer to the cause of or the reason for something happening, right? Mr. Gibbon is very worried because of his boss's refusal to let him go on leave next month, right? Now, he is very worried because of, right? What is the reason? That his boss will not let him go next month on holiday. So, he's worried about that and that is the reason. Why is he worried? Because of that, right? The hotel is well known for its spacious rooms. Again, the reason. So, you could either refer it to the cause of something happening or the reason of something happening. Alright, so both are correct. At refers to a goal, whereas for refers to the purpose of doing something, right? She worked hard at improving her communication skills, right? Now that is her goal, so you could use at. For, you're referring to the purpose of doing something. Zain designed a logo for the new website. So the purpose of designing a logo, was for the new website. Right. Verbs ending with ing can follow the preposition for when it indicates purpose. Right. Let's have a look at an example. I want a box for keeping my office files. If the verb is finishing from ing and it is for a purpose, then you can use the preposition for. She was given a gift for passing her exams well, right? So why was she given a gift? What was the purpose? Because she passed the exam well. And therefore, if the verb is finishing from ing and there is a purpose for it, you could use the preposition for. Infinitives, right? Along with infinitives, the to form can be used to point to a purpose. Susan came to return my book. The lecturer asked me to read my answer to the class. My sister hopes to improve her cooking skills, right? So if you've got the base form of the verb, you could use to point to the purpose. Why did Susan come? To return my book. The purpose, to return my book. You're pointing to the purpose. Susan came to return my book. The lecturer asked me to read my answers to the class. My sister hopes to improve her cooking skills. You're kind of pointing out to the purpose. So you could use the preposition to there. Now before we come here, I want to quickly give you a recap again of what we were talking about. About and on, they are used to refer when you're talking about a certain topic or an issue. About refers to informal situations. On refers to a formal context. Of is used to refer to the content that is expressed by two nouns, right? The first noun is being an aspect of the topic indicated by the second noun. Okay? Next one. Because of and for, right, they are used to refer to a cause or a reason for something happening, right? So Mr. Gibbon is very worried because of his boss's refusal to let him go on leave next month. The hotel is well known for its spacious rooms. So the reason or the cause of something happening. At refers to a goal. For refers to the purpose of doing something. Whereas if there is an ing verb, the preposition following it, you could use for if it indicates the purpose, right? Then you can use to, right, if it is pointed towards the purpose. Now, find out why B is correct and A is wrong. The President spoke about the need for peace and harmony. The President spoke on the need for peace and harmony. What is the difference if it is informal about, if it is formal on? So, the President definitely is a formal aspect. So, you would use on, you don't use about. Right, so moving on into the next one. Norris hesitated to speak in English because, no, it should be because of a reason, okay? A fear at being laughed at, or you could say Norris hesitated to speak in English for fear of being laughed at. So coming, right, to our reasons as to why we would use for there, okay? You could either use because of, because you're giving a reason, or why would you use for? Now, what is the reason there? Refers to the purpose of doing something, okay? So that is why you would use for, right? Coming back to the third one. She called me to get the latest news on Mike's accident. She called me for the latest news. So do you say for to get the latest? Or would you say she called me for the latest news on Mike's accident? She called me to get the latest news on Mike's accident. So both are correct. You could either say she called me for that, or she called me to get, okay, infinity. And pointing out to the reason, she called me to get the latest news on Mike's accident. So both are correct. So think about the preposition, right? Are you going to use at? How would you use it? With the ing, okay? Verbs ending with ing, what would you use it? Or is there another reason for it, okay? Or is it about a certain topic, right? Now think about it, if it's the ing one, or are you referring to something about a certain topic or an issue, okay? So think, is it right or wrong? What do you think? Are you whispering at Rob's unusual hair colors? No. Are you whispering about? It should be about, because it's an informal topic about the unusual colors of the hair that Rob has got, okay? The comedian is famous of his great jokes. Think if it's right or wrong. She feared for her boyfriend because of the danger of a storm coming his way. Why doesn't he make another attempt on finishing his assignment? It was the skill of the beautician that brought out Leslie's sharp features. They are running around to get everything ready at Thursday's concert. It is not every day you get the president to address your team. I feel Pam's quick retreat into the restroom was because her brother's unexpected appearance at the dance floor. Lenny wrote to him about her scary experience when she lost her way in the forest. The teacher was infamous for her hesitation to give learners high scores. Right, okay. Now, check which ones do you think are correct, okay? Let's have a look at the answers. 3, 5, 7, 9, 10 are correct. So they say 3, 5, 7, 9 and 10 are correct. Okay, let's have a look at it. Now the first one I told you why it is wrong, so it should be about. Second one, the comedian is famous of his great jokes, right? Can you say of his great jokes? Right? Can you say that? For is used for a cause or reason. Now, why is the comedian famous? What is the cause for it? Because of his good jokes, right? So, you can't say of his great jokes. The comedian is famous for his great jokes. She feared for her boyfriend because of, yes, because of the danger. When do you use because of? You use it when you refer to a cause or reason for something to happen. So why was she scared? Because her boyfriend was in danger. So the reason was because her boyfriend was in danger. So I think that is correct. Why doesn't he make another attempt on finishing his assignment? Now let's see, if there is ing, you have to use for. Now let's see if that is coming there. Okay. Why doesn't he make another attempt for finishing his assignment? For finishing his assignment. So that's wrong. Okay. It was a skill of the beautician that brought out Leslie. I think that is fine as well. It is a skill of the beautician. Perfectly fine. They are running around to get everything ready at Thursday's concert. Can you say at Thursday's concert? We can't. Okay. But what can you use it for? Let's see. It should be, okay, reason for, okay, purpose for doing something, right? Now let's see. They're running around to get everything ready. Why are they running around? What is the purpose of them running around? They're getting ready everything for Thursday's concert. So the purpose of it. It is not every day you get the president to address your team. That's fine. Infinity you could use too. Pointing out, that is perfectly fine. I feel Pam's quick retreat into the restroom was because her brother's unexpected. You don't say because of her brother's unexpected appearance. It has to be because of. Okay. Lenny wrote to him about her scary experience when she lost her way in the forest. I think that's fine. You wrote to him, that's fine. The teacher was infamous for her hesitation to give learners high scores. Again, that's perfectly fine. So I think 9 and 10 are correct as well. Okay. So 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, perfectly fine. Please make sure you've ticked it, and if they're wrong, you know why they're wrong now. Alright, so let us have a look at the next activity. Underline the correct prepositions to complete the sentences. So here, in the brackets, you've got prepositions. Select the correct one, okay? He underwent a surgery on the removal of appendix for the removal of appendix. Okay. Think about what is the correct word. The neighbors complained to me last night about or on the loud noises in my room. We are usually in Erica's house because of or for a game of chess. Both parties are required to abide by the terms of or on the agreement. Cracks began to appear on the walls of many houses because of or for poor workmanship. The members of the panel presented on or about the consequences of air pollution. Okay. So if it is, now for an example, let me do this one with you. The members of the panel presented on the consequences of air pollution, because about is used for informal, on is used for formal, right? We are against the destruction of forests. I suggest you call the airport now at or for reconfirmation of your flight back to Canada. Okay, so please jot down the answers in your notebook before we discuss the answers together, okay? And if you feel you need more time, pause the video, go back and have a look at the questions and jot down the answers. Now let us have a look at the answers. For, about, for, of, because of, on, for, of and for. Okay? So I think number 6, of course, we did it together. So we can put a tick there, that's on. Let us have a look at the first one. He underwent a surgery for. Okay? Why? The reason behind it. For. Okay? The neighbors complained to me last night about. Okay, that's informal. So you could say about an issue, right? So let's have a look at it. For and about. Next one. We are usually in Erica's house for what? For a game of chess. Okay. Both parties are required to abide by the terms of the agreement or on the agreement. So what do you think it is? Now let's have a look at it. Of is used to refer to the content that is expressed by two nouns. The first one being the aspect, okay? Oops. Or you could use on to refer to issues being discussed. So what do you think this is going to be? So there are two things, right? You could either use of or on. What is the answer, right? Oops, we're here. Both parties are required to abide by the terms of the agreement. It's not on something, but it is of the agreement, okay? So you have for and of. Because as I showed you, right, you can go back and slowly have a look at it as well. On are used to refer to topics or situations. On refer to formal context, right? But it's not a topic or an issue. It's a document, okay? So when that is the case, okay, what happens? It's used to refer to content, and that is what you should be thinking about. The first one has an impact on the second one, so of, right? So let's see if our answers are correct. For and of is perfectly fine. Fifth one, cracks began to appear on the walls of many houses. What is the reason? Because of the poor workmanship again, and that is also correct. Let's have a look at the last two. We are against the destruction of forests. If you can't remember the rule, please go back and check. I suggest you call the airport now for the reconfirmation. You don't say at the reconfirmation. So for is the last one, and I think our answers are correct as well. So if you feel, I can't remember, why is this the answer? Go back and refer the theory as to what I have explained before, right? Circle the letters of the correct sentences. Now, if there's only one, then the sentence. If there's more than one, sentences. You must get one of those machines to trap flies. You must get one of those machines for trapping flies. You must get one of those machines trapping flies. So which one is correct? A, B or C? Lillian informed Penny about Candy's concert on Thursday. Lily informed Penny on Candy's concert on Thursday. Lillian informed Penny about Candy's concert on Thursday. So which sentence or sentences are correct? Newspapers targeted because of children are selling well here. Newspapers targeted on children are selling well here. Newspapers targeted at children are selling well here. Mr. Silva's complaint about your messiness is reasonable. Mr. Silva's complaint, your messiness is reasonable. Mr. Silva's complaint at your messiness is reasonable. So which sentence or sentences do you think are correct? Number 5. She was given an award for the uniqueness about her creation. She was given an award for the uniqueness of her creation. She was given an award for uniqueness, her creation. Okay. So which answer do you think is correct? The famous article on global warming was widely read. The famous article for global warming was widely read. The famous article of global warming was widely read. So which sentence or sentences are correct? We'll buy a new tent about our camping trip. We'll buy a new tent, our camping trip. We'll buy a new tent for our camping trip. Number 8. She doesn't like to speak at the cruel things his classmates have said about her. She doesn't like to speak about the cruel things his classmates have said about her. She doesn't like to speak for the cruel things his classmates have said about her. Now think about the answers. If you need more time, please pause the video. Don't just jot down the answers along with me. Right, moving to question number 9. Because of her eagerness, she was highly praised at the supervisor. Okay. To be eager is to do something quickly, right? Because eagerness, she was highly praised on the supervisor. Because of her eagerness, she was highly praised by the supervisor. The last one, he is remembered about his creative paintings on nature. He is remembered for his creative paintings on nature. He is remembered on his creative paintings on nature. So which preposition do you think goes along with what? Okay. Alright, so let's have a look at the answers. B, A, C, A, B. A, C, B, C, B. Alright, so it's very easy. You have to go back and see, okay, why is this correct? Should you use for? Should you use on? Should you use at? Okay, for that you need to remember the rules. Let's have a look at the first one. You must get one of those machines for trap flies. You must get one of those machines for trapping flies. You must get one of those machines trapping flies. So this, of course, does not have anything. So let's have a look at the ing form. So when you have ing, it should follow with for. So that's basically the rule. That's all you need to remember for you to get this correct. So if there is ing, you have to use for. So here it's the base form, so you can't use it. So the only correct answer is B. Okay, and that's what you need to check. Yes, I've got the B there. Okay, second one, let's have a look at it. Lillian informed Penny about Candy's concert. On Candy's concert? Would you inform on something? No. If it is an informal thing that you're discussing, this is formal, right? But are you something informal? If it is something informal, a discussion topic, right? You want to talk about something, then it is about only, right? Do you use of there? No, it's just about. You don't have to say of about. So A is the correct answer, right? Question number 3. Newspapers targeted because of children are selling? No, right? Newspapers targeted on children are selling well here. Newspapers targeted at children are selling well here, right? Alright, so you have to think about it. Now, what is the rule here, right? So, the most important thing is the rule, right? You have to come out with the rule. Oops. Sorry, I think I've just gone a bit far away. Okay, we're here, right? So, you have to think about the rule, okay? Here it is. Refers to a goal. That is our rule there. So coming back, what is our goal? What is our goal? Newspapers targeted at children are selling well here. So the newspapers are targeted at who? The children, and because of that it's selling well. So it is our goal, and C is the correct answer. So you can check and see if C is the answer. Right? Now the same way you could have a look at the other answers, right? For 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Right? I'm going to give you some time to review it on your own, because now I've done so many lessons and you know how I do it. Okay? So I'm going to give you a little bit of freedom to do it on your own, and if you have any questions, please feel free to pop it up in the comment section. Okay? Right. So moving on, fill in the blanks with suitable prepositions, right? Now here, guess who I met? Now there's a conversation between Mabel and David, okay? Guess who I met when I stopped at the bakery? Your favorite apple strudel, Anita Lopez. Anita Lopez? The last time we saw her was at our wedding. Where is she now and what's she doing? She's heading an international organization aimed. What is the goal? So let me put an example here. Aimed at improving the literacy rate, third world countries. She's now based in Switzerland. Wow, she's back on holiday. She's here, blank, a conference, blank, education. She's going to present a paper on computer literacy. Now remember, there's one thing I want to bring out here. It's outside the context. You don't say she's going to present, okay? Even though it's written like a present, remember, present, you have a noun, and present is a verb. So you need to understand what is the context. So here she's going to present. Okay, present, present. I remember in school she often talked blank her wish to study and work overseas. She worked very hard, blank, winning a scholarship, and we were all happy when she got a place at Cambridge University. Did you get her phone number? I did more than that. I invited her over blank dinner on Saturday night. Oh no, Saturday night is out, the fundraising committee's meeting. Can't you mess it? She's leaving on Sunday morning and Saturday is the only time she's free. I know what we can do. Both of you can have dinner here without me and talk old times until I get back from the meeting. That's fine with me. So this is an extract from the book Grammar Builder 4. And I'd like you to jot down the answers. So now let us have a look at the answers together. Now you should have completed the answers. Don't just copy it off me. Alright. Make sure that you have completed the answers. Right. So let's have a look at it. Guess who I met when I stopped at the bakery for your favorite apple strudel? Anita Lopez. Right. So coming back to the third question. She's heading an international organization aimed at improving the literacy rate of third world countries. Or you could even say in third world countries. She's now based in Switzerland. She's here for a conference on education. She's going to present a paper on computer literacy. I remember in school she often talked about because it's an informal conversation. She worked very hard at winning. So it was an aim to get a scholarship. All right. I did more than that. I invited her over for dinner Saturday morning. Oh no, Saturday night is out because of the reason. Because of the fundraising committee's meeting. I know what we can do. Both of you can have dinner here without me and talk about old times until I get back from the meeting. So, I hope you've completed it, right? Now, here it is for your favorite apple, okay? Here it is at a specific aim. You can say of third world countries or in third world countries, okay? And then here for a conference on education, okay? So the discussion is more formal, so you don't say about education, on education. But here, of course, you talked about because it is an informal topic that you're talking about, okay? You worked at winning a scholarship. So she had a specific target from small days. She wanted to get a scholarship and get into a good company and, she wanted to work overseas. So she worked hard at winning a scholarship. Then, of course, I did more than that. I invited her over for dinner. Now, why would I say for dinner? Now, again, if you can't remember, you have to go back and see all the rules, right? You just can't think, okay. Purpose of doing something, right? So why did you invite her for dinner? Because, you wanted to catch up with her. So you did something more than just that, okay? I invited her for dinner on Saturday, right? Oh no, Saturday night is out because of a reason. Now, why can't David come on Saturday for dinner? Because he has a meeting in the fundraising committee, okay? So, because of that, he can't make it for their dinner. So, then Mabel says, oh, can't you come? Then he has an idea. He says, why don't you go there and talk? Both of you can talk about old times. So again, informal conversation about a certain topic, the olden days, how they were together as friends. And then he can get back from the meeting while that's happening. Mabel says, well, that's all good with me. Now, I think we've had a long lesson on that as well, right? And I hope you've understood the use of different prepositions, right? This can be a bit tough. So we've had a look at on, about, the two prepositions. We knew that about was to talk about informal situations. On is more formal context. Of is when you want to express two nouns together, the first one being the aspect of the topic indicated by the second noun. And then of course you have because of and for. They are both used to refer to the cause or the reason for something happening. Then we had a look at the word preposition at, where it refers to a specific goal. For refers for a purpose of doing something. And then the verbs ending with ing, we spoke about it and said, well, it should be followed with the preposition for. And if it is an infinitive, it should come with the to. Okay, and that points to the purpose of it. Okay, so then we had a look at why some of the sentences were correct and some of the sentences were incorrect, and we had a look at lots of practice questions. This can be very tricky, and this is again useful for you in your task 2 as well as task 1. Okay, so I want you to go through this lesson thoroughly and make sure you understand it clearly, right? It could be confusing if you speak on a day-to-day basis using some of these prepositions in wrong places. That's still fine. Like for formal, you could use about. That's still okay, right? But when you write, you have to be very careful, and especially in your speaking test, you have to be careful about the prepositions that you use. So with that, we come to the end of the lesson, prepositions with issues, purposes, and reasons.